You can tell a topic matters when it keeps coming up. At family dinners, at church, even standing in line at the grocery store. Lately, that's been Social Security. And there's good reason for it too. Some key things are in motion right now, and they'll shape a lot of retirement plans in the years ahead. So if you're planning for retirement or already there, stick with me. You won't want to miss this discussion. Welcome back. And if we haven't met, I'm Keith Demetriades, a financial advisor based out of Pampa, Texas. There's a lot of confusion around Social Security policies right now. So today, I'm going to walk you through the trust fund timeline, the recent tax law changes, and what you need to know about filing early. All right, let's start with the biggest headline. Social Security's trust funds are currently projected to run out in late 2032. That's got a lot of people panicking, especially those who have paid into the system their entire lives. If you're near retirement or already there, this could mean the money you've been counting on won't be available for you. So let's assume the trust funds do run out. What kind of impact are we going to see? Well, first and foremost, Social Security will not stop paying benefits altogether. The program is primarily funded by ongoing payroll taxes, workers and employers paying in every single pay period. It's important to understand that those ongoing taxes can cover about 76 to 81% of scheduled benefits. That means we're not talking about the elimination of benefits, but it is possible we'll see a reduction in the neighborhood of that 19 to 24%. That can still be a scary thought. But there's also some historical context here. Congress has never, I repeat, never cut benefits for people already receiving them. And every time the program's faced a funding issue, lawmakers have stepped in to save the day and keep it solvent. The last time we faced a funding crisis was in 1983, and they acted. They raised the retirement age gradually, increased payroll taxes, and made other adjustments. Look, the pressure from 70 million voters is enormous, and cutting Social Security benefits is just not a smart political move. So will Congress act again? Based on history and political reality, probably yes. There are proposals being discussed right now. The Republican Study Committee has suggested gradually raising the retirement age to 69. According to the Congressional Budget Office, that proposal wouldn't fully solve the funding issue. But it's on the table, which means they're at least working on ideas. However, and this is important, betting your entire retirement plan on what Congress does or doesn't do isn't effective planning. Hope is not a strategy. The smart approach here is to be proactive about your income. To help with that, I've got a free guide called Optimize Your Social Security and Medicare, linked in the description. You'll want to grab that because it has some strategies to make the most of your benefits. Don't wait for Washington to tell you what your retirement will look like. Review your plan, test different scenarios, and make sure you'd still feel secure if benefits looked a little different. When you understand how each piece of your plan fits together, you can adapt without losing sleep. And speaking of losing sleep, I want to unpack a recent trend because I think we're seeing a lot of fear around retirement timing. There's been a big surge in early Social Security filings this year, and people report that the fear of losing benefits is one of the biggest factors in their decision. This was even before the big beautiful bill passed, and the news came out that funds might run out sooner than expected. So I expect we'll see this continue. The logic is that people want to get in the system before rules change or before benefits get reduced. I get that. But here's what you need to know. Filing at 62 instead of your full retirement age of 67 reduces your monthly benefit by 30% permanently. Let me put some numbers to that. If you're a high earner who maxed out Social Security taxes for 35 years, your full retirement age benefit would be around $4,000 per month. But if you file at 62 with that 30% reduction, you'd get about $2,800 per month. That's $1,200 per month less, or $14,400 per year less for the rest of your life. Now, there are absolutely good reasons to file early. Health issues that suggest a shorter lifespan, immediate financial need, specific strategic reasons in your overall plan. But here's what doesn't make sense. Filing early just to avoid a potential future benefit reduction. That's like selling your car today because you're worried gas prices might go up next year. You're guaranteeing a lifetime reduction in benefits based on the idea that there might be a reduction later. Here's the math. Even if benefits get reduced to 76% in 2032, like we discussed, that's a 24% cut. By filing at 62, you're taking a 30% cut. You're locking in a bigger reduction than the worst case scenario you're trying to avoid. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense so far. I'm not saying it's never the right choice to file early. I'm just saying you have to look at the trade-offs. The right time to file for Social Security should be based on your health, your financial situation, your other income sources, and your longevity expectations, not speculation about future policy changes. And if you're married, that adds another layer because your spouse's situation can change what makes sense for you. Every couple's plan should be tailored. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. Let's do a quick poll. If you had to choose today, would you file early or would you wait until 70? Tell me why in the comments. All right, one more thing I want to talk about is the tax law change from this summer. The One Big Beautiful Bill included a $6,000 tax deduction for people age 65 and older. For middle-income retirees, roughly those making between $80,000 and $130,000 per year, this could save around $1,100 in taxes. If you're in the income range where this helps you, that's great. Go ahead and take advantage of it. But it's kind of like finding $20 in your coat pocket. Nice in the moment, but it doesn't actually change your long-term financial picture. What we're also hearing is that combined with other changes, this deduction means about 88% of Social Security recipients won't owe federal income tax on their benefits. But here's what you need to understand about this change. First, about 2/3 of Social Security recipients already weren't paying federal taxes on their benefits. Why? Because their income was below the threshold where those taxes kick in. So for most people, this doesn't actually change anything. Second, the deduction is temporary. It expires in 2028. And third, and this is the important part, taxes on Social Security benefits flow back into the Social Security and Medicare trust funds. When you pay taxes on your Social Security benefits, that money goes right back into funding the program. This change means less tax money going into the system, and that has a direct impact on the Social Security trust fund. So two things are true. The deduction helps some people with their taxes right now, but it also makes that trust fund clock tick a little faster. All right, time to wrap it up. We've covered 3 important points today, so let's review them. First, Social Security's reserves are currently projected to run out at the end of 2032. After that, ongoing payroll taxes can cover about 3/4 of scheduled benefits. That's a real issue that needs addressing, but it's not the same as the program disappearing. Second, the tax change from this summer provides a deduction for seniors 65 and older. It helps certain people now, but affects the timeline on the Social Security reserve question. And last, your Social Security filing decision should be based on your specific situation, your health, your finances, your plan, not on trying to outrun policy changes that may or may not happen. I'm Keith Demetriades. If this video cleared up some confusion for you, share it with someone who might benefit from understanding what's actually happening instead of reacting to the headlines. Be sure to subscribe for more straightforward retirement and financial planning advice. And grab that free guide I've linked in the description. Real wealth starts with real life. Don't just plan the numbers, plan the life.